Hello, hello. Good morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fall day outside. As you can see, the sky is spectacular. There are puffy, puffy clouds everywhere. It's just beautiful. And I know I've been saying I'm a summer girl, and I still am. But this fall has just been spectacular. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you? Isn't it just stunning outside? I don't know if you saw my post yesterday, but I went for a walk and it was just, amazing. So anyway, welcome to our North Fork Friday Lives, where I will be joined with Lauren Conklin, who owns Story Petals. And we usually have a third co-host, Tracy, from Miss Tracy Kessler, but she is away today doing a really big festival in New York City. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or been there. She is an event planner, and so she is involved in the New York City Wine and Food Festival. To Southhold Wi-Fi, I guess. I'm trying to get Lauren on, but I don't see her, or at least I can't get her to join in. There you are. Hello. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Isn't it just gloriously sunny?
I know. I'm obsessed. I've been out all morning yard sailing and tag sailing.
Oh, you already did that? Oh my God, you are
Oh,
a hero. I don't know how you. I saw a couple of posts about them. There was one in Shelter Island. Did you go to that one?
no. I
That
sailed
looks good.
yeah, a little too far for this morning, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was really wonderful and the weather was so glorious. So everyone was in a fantastic mood.
Yeah. Oh my.
Um,
Today I went for a walk, and those clouds looked like they were just. I felt like I was in a Disney movie. They were perfection.
right? I
And today
know.
up to be not bad. Not bad.
Right?
I was
I'm here for it. I was set up outside and I was really ready. And then we had to do a last minute site change just because the leaf blowers just started.
I'm a little, but I like there's a slight chill. Hello, Maria.
Hi.
Hello. It got sunny.
It is sunny and it's beautiful. I have to, I guess, move my square. You are Sundays, Maria, so you might have to flip your phone around.
Okay.
I see you.
Thank you for the tutorial.
Yes.
Hang on.
How are you? I guess you decided to sit outside as well. Look at those clouds. Well, I see you spinning.
Did I flip it around the right way? Here I am.
Not yet. Not yet.
So you want to be vertical, not horizontal.
Okay.
There you go.
There you are.
Kids, don't do this without a safety net.
This is our story every week. So we are used to it. Our viewers are used to it. So it's like, bring it on. We have excitement. There you go. I see the sun.
I'm flying without a net. It's so sunny here. It's glorious today.
So Lauren, what did you find in the tag sales? I see your beautiful shelf behind you. The cabinet behind you is one of your purchases.
Oh, this was a find a few weeks ago. I love this beauty.
Beautiful.
She's my pride and joy of finds. But yeah, this morning we had a great day of yard sailing. I went with my mother-in-law, Patrice Conklin, who is the original huntress, and we landed some great deals. Yeah, it was just a fun day to be out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Maria. We have so much.
Thank you.
Maria has so many different things going on in life. So I want
The sunshine. Much better.
how did you get here to the North Fork, and what do you do? Run with it.
My name is Maria McBride. I am. I've had a home on the North Fork since '97. My husband and I found this great old barn that's kind of behind me here. You can sort of see it. We've been we were weekenders for a long time. I had a long career in publishing. I was the style director of Bride's Magazine. I've written a lot of books, weddings and parties. And little known fact, I'm the oldest of 12 kids. I'm a mom too. I just celebrated my son's wedding over the weekend. So
Congrats.
a lot of happy things going on. And I've been fulfilled out here. I've met great people. I moved out here full time about 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, before everything shut down. So I really felt that even though I'd had deep roots here, that it gave me time to transition while everything was going on. And I've met a new community of people here. I get involved. I got my real estate license. So that's me in a nutshell.
You're Jane of all trades, that's for sure, Maria.
You kind of have to be, I think, if you want to keep life interesting and meet people and connect with people. I think one path works for some people, but not for me. I think it must come from having so many people in my family. It's just sort of a natural trait.
One of 12, I'm sure. I'm sure you're always just used to that. Like you said, exciting new people all the time. I know I've taken a page out of your book as well. I love having my hat in a bunch of different expertise so that you can just kind of really meet new people, because every element or every road just takes you to different people. Oh no. Am I frozen too?
Yep. I'm back.
Yep, you're back.
I feel like everything you've I know so many different fascinating aspects of you. Like I said, we could talk about your siblings and your family forever, because that in of itself is fascinating. So and great. Then I'm fascinated by your time at Bride magazine and all the stuff that you got to experience and do while you were there. So that sort of then, I know you're also an event planner here. So that led you to that, or where did the Bride magazine thing take you, I guess?
The Bride mag, I started it. I was going to go to law school, and I wasn't ready to go to law school, so I started looking for a job. And because I didn't know how to type, you had to, at that point, if you want to be administrative assistant, you had to know how to type at least 50 words a minute. And I had always resisted doing that because I didn't want to be a secretary. And little did I know that I was in my own way. But I started as a temp at Condé Nast Publications. It was a rabbit hole. I thought it would be a temporary position. It was a fascinating place to work. Lots of energy, something different to do every day. And I realized it's something that I'd been digesting and enjoying all my life. There was a path forward for me to enter into that business, and it opened my eyes. I traveled around the world. I met so many great creative people, friends to this day. I was able to raise my kids in the city, which was a joy for me. And it gives you a whole perspective on looking at the world in a different way, looking at it through a small lens, an Instagram lens, if you will. Everything's a picture, but also everything has to have a message and a point of view. And so it really shaped my thinking. And then, from there, it just led to lots of different experiences. And, so I'm really glad I went through that rabbit hole.
And like what we were talking about earlier, is every step you take or every path you take then leads you to the next thought chapter that you never even thought about. Like, I don't know, law school, Bride magazine, and then North Fork. So now you're here on the North Fork. So tell me all the different, or whichever one you want to start with, because you're involved in real estate, in event planning, and I know you're involved in the community with Cast and Slow Food. So just give me an overview of how you transitioned from being in the city to finding your footing on the North Fork.
When we first moved out here, I was really glad that I couldn't find a sun-dried tomato if my life depended on it. It really was a much quieter time out here. I'm now very grateful that so many people, like-minded people, have moved here to find a life, begin afresh, continue their life in a different way. As we grow up, as our kids grow up, I think it's important to have an open attitude about, life, as we all have found out this past year, can change dramatically. And I think you got to be prepared. Keep your knees flexed, keep your eyes open, keep your, spirits open. You never know who's going to be your new best friend. And by keeping involved in a lot of different things, I think it's made it possible for me to make a wide variety of friends, because of course here you can get a little bit more pigeonholed. It's not as vertical as it is in the city life and the way you meet people. And so getting involved, I think, is not just good for business or for your own developing your own interests, but also giving back to the community in a way. I really encourage people who are moving out here, get involved, find like-minded people who are doing things that you appreciate. Cast is one of the organizations that I believe in and support. We're planning a new open house for their new home in Southold, which is going to be great. It's old opera house. We're going to have an open house on October 30th. So the whole community is invited for a party that day. I also work with Slow Food. It's one of the ways Sunita and I have gotten, connected, and really believe passionately in the fact that organizations like Slow Food and the agricultural community that's out here has protected our environment, is going to preserve it, hopefully keep it sustainable for the future for our kids and their kids. And all of these different activities have just really made my life fuller. I started a garden last year by the inspiration of people I've met through Slow Food. So, I definitely, it's been therapy for me, as well as, a way to develop business contacts, friends, have a more holistic life.
I love that. I love that it's not just one element. It's not just work or personal or philanthropic. It's really just one big circle, and I love how it all just bleeds into each other. I couldn't agree more.
Everybody's life does that. We all find different paths we want to follow. And what's beautiful out here is that there's so many, and you can reinvent yourself, and you can find, develop an art craft like you, Laura. I happened to be at McBride Vineyards yesterday, taking a tour and meeting with Gabriella there, and
I love her.
Sitting under your chandelier of paper flowers. It was.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It felt beautiful. I love the handcrafted feel. So congratulations on what you're doing. And
thank you so much.
I feel like that's a timely discussion, because so many people are moving to the North Fork. I mean, you as a real estate agent see the other side of that, but also combined with the pandemic, giving everyone a pause to sort of reevaluate what they want to do in their life and which direction they want to take it. I think it's really interesting for me to hear about the thought process and how one thing, sometimes you feel like you need to be going towards a certain thing, whereas I think you just start somewhere, whatever's calling your name. Slow Food, same as you, I got involved in, and then I'm afraid that bees and chickens might be coming next. I mean, I'm picking a garden for now, but it's nice to be surrounded by people. I never thought of myself as a gardener. I've always killed cactuses,
by doing it, don't you find that, I'm not taking away from, I think it's making me have a greater appreciation for what goes into running a farm stand, growing, more than a few tomatoes. And so my hats, I really have a deeper appreciation for what goes on around me by doing a little bit of it myself.
And I think by being a local also, like you said, you were talking to Gabriella from Macari and seeing how much agriculture actually goes into the wine process. And there's so many different elements that I think as a weekender prior, I went as a vineyard and I went for the wine and never really thought much more of it. And now being out here full time, I think I have such a deeper appreciation, like you said, for just the full picture that there is, that I feel like we only sometimes get a glimmer of. And I'm so appreciative of the well-rounded relationship I have to it now.
Okay, we do have to talk real quick about your real estate part, just so we can get some input. What is your take on how the real estate market is doing here now at this point, as opposed to how it was doing last year?
It's a little saner this year because a little less inventory, a little less panic, a little less, of all the kind of nonsense, and but there's still, there aren't as many beautiful properties coming to the market. I'm happy to say that I've got a couple listings coming up, and so it's energizing. And I think that the hard part is for people who want to get an entry into the market. We know it's a hard time for people that are, when I first bought out here, it's a very different climate. And so it's hard to get a toehold. And one of the things that we really need to be aware of, in my industry, but all over, is that we need to have accessible housing for people to enter into our community at a reasonable price point, because those, these are the people that work, sustain our community. And so that's a real challenge out here. And, but, paradise has its challenges too. We know that.
Yeah, we're definitely think the effects of exactly what you're describing is the shift in the demographic and, people that are leaving versus people that are arriving that aren't necessarily willing to take the jobs that are left behind. So it's a tricky situation from that perspective, right?
It is. It is. And, but somehow, we'll figure out a way forward. But, it's not an easy topic, affordable housing to go into in a couple of minutes, but it is definitely something that is important.
Either to buy or sell, where can they find you? What company do you work with, and Instagram?
You can find me right here. It's probably the easiest. But I'm with Daniel Gale Sotheby's International. My office is in Cutchogue. We've got a great team of really enthusiastic workers. And I have to say that I never really, this was not also on my radar as a job that I would, do at some point in my life. But it really is a composite of all the things I've done. When you think about creating pictures and staging homes and styling, that's a whole part of my background. Each home sale is like an event. You're getting the right people into the room, basically. It's about contacting people, working with people, finishing projects. So all of those things have been tools in my wheelhouse. And now it's been very fulfilling to bring it all together with that. And it keeps me in the community, keeps me, I need to be involved in the community. I want to be involved in the community. So I think it's been a good choice for me. And thank you for asking.
Well, speaking of community, it's such a fascinating, and I think we talk about this every week, about how the North Fork is really a small community, and it's like 6 degrees of separation, but I really think it's 3 degrees in the North Fork. 2, right? Okay. So I was thinking back to when you were coming on as to how we met, and I think slow food comes as the answer, but the reality is we met even before slow food.
I think, right?
It's so funny. I always walk into all the stores and say hello to the store owners because everyone here is a small business. So I was sort of, I guess, friends with Mel from Arnie. I think that's where we met, right?
Yes. On the front stoop. I remember, somebody very enthusiastic.
That's Sunita's middle name, enthusiastic.
Exactly. And Arnie's a great place, isn't it?
Was it Top Small Saturday?
I think so. I think so.
It's always, I think we met through Mel as well.
That's so funny. So Maria was helping Mel out because it was one of those busy Saturdays where you stroll through and shop, and I stop in to say hi and chat. And Mel says to me, "Come over here. I want to introduce you to somebody. I think you're going to be best friends with her." And I'm like, I barely know Mel, but now Mel knows who I can be. But it was so funny. And here we are. I think it was just meant to be. And then, of course, we have slow food now in common. So, we talk more about that. Let's touch a little bit on slow food. I know that you are involved even in setting up a lot of the events for us. I know you just did the walk and wine, or a couple of walk and wines, right?
Yes. So I was brought on to be their event chairman, 2 months before COVID, locked us all in place. So I'm finally getting to stretch my wings a little bit. And walk and wine is one of the projects that has, it's a something that we've been able to do in person. We did it at Peconic Herb Farm. We did it at Landcraft, which if anybody listening has not been to Landcraft or the Peconic Herb Farm, you're really missing 2 of the great treasures on the North Fork. What we want to do is really continue to introduce the people to places that think like we do about our community, but also might be a little underlooked, and join there and meet. We also developed chef series where we brought people into chefs' homes. We had Claudia Fleming, Stefan Bogardus. We had Colin Ambrose from Essie's Old Kitchen in Sag Harbor. Going in with them, Peter Burley and James Ford. That was so much fun during the winter months, to go into the kitchen, have an intimate experience, learn a few things. We have an auction coming up for Slow Food. Our annual fundraiser will be a virtual event. There's a lot of ways of points of entry into slow food, and we're on the East End. We're the largest chapter in the United States. We support school gardens, community activism. We have provided over $20,000 in resiliency grants over the past year for agricultural producers, fishers, people in the industry that needed a little help over the past year. So we're doing a lot of good things, and I really encourage if people are looking for something to do, to give us a call and join us.
I think slow food is great. I mean, we're super excited. Story Petals will be part of the auction this year. So
Great.
really excited. And I just think it's such a great cause. I know Sunita is an advocate and involved. And I think
I mean, how can that be?
slow food is featured every weekend. I feel like
I mean,
every Friday.
You listen to Penny speak or Maria speak, and when you hear about the things that slow food is trying to do, or, you know, how can you not be? That's why I'm afraid bees and chickens are coming. Somebody save me.
No, we won't. I won't.
I keep
Good
saying
problem.
one day there'll be beehive behind me. You know, I mean, I'm going to stick with the garden and just enjoy the ones that do tend to the bees.
Pollinators. So, but yeah.
Exactly. Maybe that's what we should call ourselves, pollinators. I feel like as North Forkers, we are the pollinators of our community. I think I love that.
Yep.
That should be the name of the show. I think that's perfect, because each week we are bringing on, you know, I love that. This is perfect. This is
on the note of slow food and what they do, I think it's a great transition into each week we ask our guests what favorite 5 they have. And I'm going to start it off with, do you have a favorite farm stand?
I have many. Usually whatever one is closest to me before 5 o'clock, you know, is my hero of the day. But there's a little known one called Oregon Road Organics that has charmed me recently. It's across the street from Lieb Cellars, another one of my favorite wineries. And they've got a rustic truck and a great little setup there, serve yourself. They're also opening up a whole CBD thing going on there too, which is coming to the North Fork big time. Talk about development
potentials
on. But they but one of the reasons they've really charmed me in particular is there's a farm on the North Fork that's owned by the McBride family, not my division of the McBride family. But so to be able to enjoy McBride's corn was truly a treat.
Oh, I love that. I have a similar last name where Conklins are everywhere, and I'm like, oh, I'm not of this Conklin clan, but I am a Conklin.
And we are related way back, you know, because
exactly. I'm sure
from
somewhere
a small spot in Ireland at one point. So.
Well, thank you about that truck. I've seen it when I've been to Lieb, but I didn't realize that it was actually a stand that you could get stuff at. So I definitely need to check that out next time. Their truck looks really cute, parked there, and I might have to. But I really didn't stop in, and you know, I know you already mentioned a vineyard, but let's switch right into that. Any favorite vineyards or breweries?
Well, I have to tell you, I have many. I belong to probably 24 wine clubs, trying to support our community as well. But so yesterday I mentioned that I stopped at McBride, who I've been a wine club member, but I hadn't really spent a lot of time at the winery. It's phenomenal what's going on there, besides the lovely accessories that are there that Lauren has helped with. But they've got glamping tents for private dining and tasting, which are really clever and like lounge-like, and with dinner tables. They've got a cave that's stonework and brick and 2 long tables and barrels surrounding it, and really, you know, the kind of place that you could imagine spending hours with friends and talking about everything. And great people that run it. It's 3 generations working on 4, you know, I think coming up, I'm not sure, but of winemakers, and they're very enthusiastic. They've got great people and excellent wine. So I recommend it if you haven't been.
It's definitely a favorite, without a doubt. How about restaurants?
I love the Frisky Oyster and North Fork Table for special events, special nights rather. Noah's is good for everything. I love the Hellenic Snack Bar with kids and extended family and just the sprawling and having the whole grilled fish. I love Lucia's in Mattituck. It's right on the curve before Love Lane, and I think a lot of people just drive by it, but it's got great Latin food. You know, it's abundant, it's delicious, excellent chicken soup.
Ooh, so that's good for the fall. I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds
fantastic.
Amazing. All right. My favorite question. Do you wake up early to catch a sunrise? Or do you stay up to see sunsets? Well, not stay up. At this point, they're going to be at 4:30. You know? But if so, where's the favorite spot that you can tell people to go watch one?
Oh, sunset?
And whichever is your jam.
I like both. Mornings, I'm usually not in a rush to get out of bed. I like to kind of roll around and read a little bit and then get up. But so I don't make as many sunrises as I'd like. I saw a beautiful one yesterday though on Nassau Point when I was going to take pictures for my my listing. Beautiful, just incredible water, the sun coming through the trees. It was amazing. The halyard for sunset views. I mean, and the beach alongside Town Beach there. It's probably pretty spectacular because every which way you move, turn your camera, turn your eyes. It's serene. It's beautiful. The sky's alive. So that's probably my favorite.
And then Tanita's back deck right there. Look at that.
You know what's really nice too is driving along Oregon Road at that time.
At golden hour, right back, like when
hour.
you're sitting at Lieb, having your glass of wine, the truck is in the distance, you just like set a scene.
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Sounds like we're going to have to start moving this show to 4:30 in the afternoon so we can do it from. There's several vineyards and actually a lot of farms. I need to make it to one of the farms for sunset because the backdrop of a sunset on a farm is spectacular too.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's one thing around the North Fork, you know.
Ooh. Back to sunset.
Here I am.
You're back. You made it. You were saying?
There's so many options here. I mean, you really don't have, I mean, that's, you know, one of the reasons I really love being here is that you're, you know, a minute from a beach, you're a minute from a farm, you're a minute from friends. It's, you know, it really has turned out to be, for a city girl, you know, my new heaven.
I feel you, Maria. I love that. I feel like we have another question, and I can't remember what it is besides how can we support you? Am I missing one? Where's Tracy? Gosh.
But anyway, I was going to say, we've talked about it for 30 minutes, but if you could sum up in 1 or 2 lines of why you love living on the North Fork, or, you know, not a sales pitch for all your real estate people, because I don't think they need one. Everybody's moving here anyway.
I think one of the reasons why I love it, it does feel like country. It's got an urban mentality, but a country vibe. It's got, you know, because there's so many people here from around, you know, from the city, from all the different parts of the city, from around the world. You know, we've got expats here. You know, it's just a really interesting, diverse mix. And I love being, you know, an hour and a half from the city. I mean, let's face it, that's an incredible anchor. Airports are not too far away, you know, so it's, you know, the ferry to New England. We've got our pulse on so much right here. And of course, there's no place like home. You really don't have to leave.
I feel like queen with so many hats, and that answer was really your real estate hat answer. But I love it because it is all true. And so, you know, part of when I started to do the show, realized that there are so many people from so many places that have transplanted themselves here for all of these reasons. And it's a beautiful place to find yourself. So yeah. I'm so glad I crossed paths with you. I guess I have Mel to thank.
We do.
Myself included. I'm going to join in that one. That's how we met too.
I think I mentioned to some people that I might be showing them my favorite room, which you can probably see behind me.
Ooh,
it's my outdoor shower. And it really is my favorite room. That's where I start my day. And
I love it.
The side, one of the things that I love about it is that I had it designed, because I'm not tall, but where the fence comes up to the sides come up to about my nose, so I can look. If you're in an outdoor shower, you want to look outside. I see some people, they build an outdoor shower and it might as well be inside. So
I love it.
Embrace
pro tip right there.
Good
so
tip.
When people buy their new house with you, that's what the tip you can leave them with. This high.
Essential to love.
Your outdoor shower would be up here to me, but yeah.
True. Well, it's taller on the other side and lower on the side that faces the lawn, so that, you know, you can protect your modesty as well.
A perfect balance. So Maria, but before we head out, can you just tell us your Instagram account one more time and any other information that our viewers can just, where they can find you and how we can support you?
MariaMcBride.NorthFork. And I mean, I kind of think that's all you need to know, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But, you know, my bio has my details, and I live in Southold. My office is in Cutchogue, so I'm not hard to find. You might find me like running around at one of the farm stands, say hello. come and support us at CAS at the open house, guys. Anybody listening, please. It's a great cause, a great new beginning for them, and get involved. Do something good.
I love it. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for coming on today and telling us more about you. And I'm sure we'll see you around town.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody.
You too. Thank you. Bye, Lauren.
Bye.